Welcome to Lesson 2 in Unit 25, Science in St. Louis. In Lesson 2, students are going to look at two different ecosystems. They're going to look at a human-changed ecosystem, which is the Arch Grounds, located on the riverfront, and they're going to compare those organisms that live on the Arch Grounds to those that live in a more natural ecosystem, like the confluence just north of St. Louis. For the engaged part of this lesson, students will look at a list of two different locations on the riverfront. They'll look at organisms that live on the Arch Grounds and then organisms that live on the confluence riverfront. What they'll do is they'll just make simple observations about this list and ask questions about the phenomenon they observe. In the Explore section of Lesson 2, students will discuss the idea of adaptation, something an organism has or does that makes it well suited to survive in its environment. To do this, they'll look at animal cards, and they'll brainstorm different characteristics that a riverfront ecosystem will need for these animals to survive. On their handout, they're going to describe this ecosystem's characteristics and then draw a model of the ecosystem that they think would be best suited for these animals. In the Explained portion of this lesson, students will complete the riverfront ecosystem reading. This reading highlights both the Missouri and the Mississippi rivers, talks about the natural wetland characteristics of these rivers, and also discusses the man-made changes made to these rivers. It also goes into the characteristics that make these ecosystems such a great land for the animals previously discussed to live and thrive in. In the Elaborate portion of this lesson, you'll show students these two side-by-side images of the different ecosystems, one of the Arch Riverfront and one of the confluence. You'll hand students their riverfront animal cards, having them consider the different features of these two ecosystems. Once they look at the ecosystems and the animals, you'll have them complete a claim evidence reasoning. They'll discuss why the Arch Grounds is great for some animals, but not a great habitat for others. To assess student learning, students will be given a scenario about a leopard frog. They'll read through the scenario and data about leopard frogs, and then they're going to be posed with a question. Based on the characteristics of this leopard frog, would it survive well on the east side riverfront of the Mississippi River? Students will make a claim and then support that claim with evidence they found in the reading. By the end of this lesson, students should have reviewed adaptations and have created an argument using the Arch Riverfront to discuss the adaptations that animals need to survive in a riverfront ecosystem.